Youth philanthropy has grown tremendously in several states in the U.S., but it looks very different from state to state.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit, Eileen, about what youth philanthropy looks like across the state of Indiana?
I can. I think probably in reference to how we might know it in Michigan, where the Kellogg Foundation endowed all of the community foundations with a youth philanthropy council. That's one look. When we come to Indiana, the landscape is a little bit different. We haven't been as privileged to receive those endowments, but they're working very hard to establish youth philanthropy councils. But I look at it as three ways. We have Youth as Resources, which is a group that teaches young people about grant making, and they make decisions on youth-led organizations that present proposals for funding. They're small grants. They're like $500 to kind of get them started. So that's Youth as Resources. They're basically in central Indiana in 6 counties. Then we move to the northeast part of the state, and there are 6 counties which are called youth pods. And they began, I believe, in 1991 through the generosity of the Dekko Foundation, which is a private foundation. They were very interested in exploring this idea of youth philanthropy. And so they talked to 6 counties where they happen to have their focus. And what has come out of that, there was the first youth pod established in Noble County in 1991. And from that, then now there are 6. So the parts that are, key to a youth pod: a school district, a community foundation, and then funding from the Dekko Foundation. And that youth pod is working just within that county. There is what they call a navigator from a school who is a staff person, and then there's probably a staff person in the community foundation who also meets with the young people. The money, they receive $15,000 a year from Dekko, and that is kept at the community foundation. So the Dekko Corporation had an office in Indiana, and I believe in Iowa, and there might be one in Alabama. So they've transferred that idea to a couple of the other states. But Indiana was the first one to have youth pods. So that's youth pods in Northeast, that's Youth as Resources in Central Indiana, and then we have our community foundations. And we have 92 community foundations in the state of Indiana. Right now we have about 35 of those community foundations who have taken it upon themselves to form youth philanthropy councils. They're connected to the community foundation. Some are given funds from the community foundation. Some have to go out and raise those funds, and then they give that money away. The primary focus of those basically is grant making, obviously. So our goal would be to be like Michigan at some point and have all 92 have a youth philanthropy council. We're not there yet, but we hope to do that. And then I think the fourth component is kind of the part that YPII plays, that not everybody can have that Youth Philanthropy Council or that program. So we integrate philanthropic concepts through our resources with organizations such as the YMCA and Big Brothers Big Sisters. We hope that maybe they might form a philanthropy club at some point, but we're starting to at least integrate those concepts through our resources into their program. So I think those are the 4 components really that we could say that makes the landscape of youth philanthropy in Indiana.